He shot her. Right there. Broad daylight. In front of a cafe full of people who'd rather pretend their croissant didn't just come with a side of gunfire. She clutched her ribs, white blouse blooming red like a slow, blooming rose. And those golden curls of hers, yeah, they caught the sunlight just as she staggered, trying not to fall. But she didn't drop. Not yet. She just stood there, staring at the cop who shot her. And he was just standing there too, gun still raised, face frozen, like his brain couldn't catch up with what his hands just did. That woman's name was Naomi Ellison, 24, daughter of Judge Ramona Ellison, the first black woman to serve as a federal judge in the state of North Carolina. Naomi wasn't some random. She was power in a pencil skirt, confidence, sharp as her mother's gavel. And that day, all she did was step out of a black limousine to grab her spinach wrap from a cafe she'd stopped by a dozen times before. That's it. But Officer Troy Beckett, who was already on edge after weeks of internal pressure bodycam scrutiny, complaints, you name it, got a dispatch, carjacking, suspect black female, blonde wig, possibly armed. 3 blocks later, he saw Naomi, blonde hair, standing next to a sleek car in the wrong zip code. His brain filled in the blanks, and his finger pulled the trigger. You fit the description, he shouted, like that could plug the hole under her ribs. Then the limo door swung open. Bam, out stepped Captain Jonas Bell, badge in hand, voice cold. Put it down. Beckett. The rookie stammered something about matching profiles, but Bell wasn't having it. I said, put it down. He moved in front of Naomi, caught her just as her knees buckled. Let me back up a sec. Just 20 minutes earlier, Naomi had left her mother's courtroom after a ruling that sent shockwaves through the city police reform. Civil rights. The whole 9 yards, protesters outside, cameras rolling. She was exhausted, asked her driver, Paul, to take the long way through Westmont Hills, an upscale, mostly white neighborhood, for some peace. That's when it all spiraled. And then came the twist. See? When paramedics were rushing Naomi to the ER, Captain Bell reviewed Beckett's body cam footage on the spot. Naomi never resisted, hands visible, calm, composed. And Bell. He made a call most captains never do. He ordered Beckett cuffed. Right there, in front of his peers. She could have been anyone, Beckett muttered as they dragged him away. But she wasn't. Bell snapped. She's the judge's daughter, and she's a human being. Now here's where it gets even more real. 3 days later, Judge Ellison called a press conference on the courthouse steps, not for justice for her daughter, no, for every parent with a black child who doesn't know if they'll come home. The words that echoed across the crowd, perception is not probable cause. And then Naomi, bandages still fresh, walked onto a live national broadcast just 12 days after surgery. Face pale, but eyes steel. You saw my skin and forgot my story, she said. You saw blonde hair and thought it didn't belong on this face. You saw me standing still and called it threatening. She didn't stop there. She launched a nonprofit, Beyond the Badge, fighting for transparency, mandatory bodycam release, and independent civilian review boards. Donations poured in. 1 year later, the Naomi Act passed. All departments in state had to undergo bias training annually. Bodycam footage had to be released within 24 hours of a use-of-force incident. Officers were benched, pending independent review, if the footage didn't match the narrative. And the final scene. In court, Judge Ramona Ellison staring down at a stripped of power Troy Beckett. No badge, no gun. Just a man who let fear and assumption make a decision a bullet couldn't take back. He pled guilty. Said he didn't mean to. Said he thought. The judge. She looked him straight in the eye. You thought wrong. And you almost buried my daughter for it. He got 6 years. Some say it wasn't enough, but change had started. Naomi didn't let her scar define her. She let it fuel her. Her voice now plays in classrooms, town halls, and law schools. Her pain became a platform. Her survival became a signal. And you tell me, was justice served? Let's talk about it down in the comments. Do you think 6 years was enough? Do you believe reform can fix what perception destroys? Drop your thoughts. Share the story. And don't forget, truth speaks loudest when someone tries to silence it.